And first off, not a sponsor, okay? Just a shirt. I talked about how at one point I had a swerve in my stroke, and I've been trying to figure out why. And my original theory was that I was getting lined up and I was wrapping around my body as I stroked. And then if I shot hard, I wouldn't have time to get back straight again. That was my initial theory. Then at one point, I hung a plumb bob down there so I could watch the videos, have my stroking straight, which is basically what I was looking for. But instead of that, I found out I wasn't getting lined up straight to begin with. I was getting lined up off to the right. So even if I'm stroking straight, I'm not going to make this 15 unless I can get back to straight. Unless I can get back on the proper shot line, I mean to say. And shooting hard, I didn't have enough time to do it. So that's why I was having a big problem shooting hard and making shots. And I noticed it when I would shoot hard and I would have right English on the cue ball. And the cue ball would be spinning clockwise. On this shot right here, which is a straight draw shot, I was noticing that it's doing stuff like that. I didn't mean to put right English on it, but there it was. I'm like, okay, do I suck or is there something else going on? One of the theories I came up with when I was trying to figure all this out, I'm not a physicist, but this is kind of based on some physics, is that it's the equal and opposite reaction stuff, Isaac Newton. If I move my cue forward to hit the cue ball, then there is an equal force pushing back on me with equal and opposite reaction bullshit, right? So if I shoot this 13 straight in, whatever, with medium speed, there's a medium speed force that's also pushing me back. If I shoot this 4 straight in with hard speed, there's going to be a harder force pushing me back. And one of the things that I reasoned was that a hard enough force pushing me back is going to not only push back on my cue stick, but my arm, my shoulder, and something pushes my shoulder, and I'm in a stance, and something pushes my shoulder, it can make me twist a little bit. And look what happens when I twist a little bit. Let me just get lined up on the 2 here again. If I go to shoot and then something makes me twist, it's going to make me twist this way, clockwise, and it's going to put right English on the cue ball that I didn't want to have. So yeah, this is one of my main theories about why I could be having problems with hard shots. And I think it still is something that has a problem, that's causing that problem. I call it the other ghost. The regular ghost is the one you play 9-ball race to 9 against the ghost or whatever. This is the other ghost. This is the one that's a dick. That every time you push the cue forward, he's pushing back. And if you push forward hard enough for a fast enough shot, hard enough shot, he's pushing back hard enough to maybe make you twist offline. This is what I think, and it interests me. I like overthinking things. I've been told that a lot. I like worrying about stuff that probably don't have to worry about at my level, but you know, there it is. One of the things that I used to do for a long time is I was what you would just call just a croucher. I would get lined up on a shot, and I would just crouch, bend both knees, and crouch down so my head was at the right level to shoot the shot. I would do that a lot. And this is all fine and dandy, except it's not particularly stable. If I have somebody or something like this invisible ghost pushing, on this shoulder, I'm not very stable, and it's more easy for me to twist. So I've started locking my right leg to brace myself against that inevitable force that's going to happen, and force me to bend into the shot instead of crouch into the shot. For the most part, it's successful for me. There was a guy a million years ago when I was a kid, and he hung out with us sometimes. I'm not entirely sure why. He was kind of an asshole. He might be dead. He might be in jail right now. But I remember one time we were at my grandmother's house, me and my cousins and this guy, and we were playing this game called like battling tops or something like that. It's where everybody has a top, and there's a little semicircle ring deal, and you pull the top and they spin, and whoever's top is playing last, is still spinning, they win. Anyway, this guy, he won almost all the freaking time. Almost all the freaking time. And eventually we were like, hey, you know, how are you doing that? That's pretty awesome. How are you doing that? And he told us that what he's doing is he's, instead of just yanking the string, he's bracing his other hand on the thing. It's hard to picture. He's bracing his other hand on this battling ring that we had. He's bracing that and then pulling the string. That was enough for him. Kind of feel like I'm doing a little bit of the same thing just by bracing my leg. I feel like I'm giving myself extra bracing to. One of the things that's happened to me since I started straightening my right leg is I'm just naturally hitting shots harder without even trying. And it's not because my arm's moving faster. It's because in the past, I have to switch pockets because that one went full. In the past, I would just be crouched into a shot, and I would shoot. The other ghost would push back. It would make me rock a little bit or whatever because I'm not as stable, and so I would end up. Good shot, Dave. I would end up losing some of that energy by making my body rock, by having my body be rocked. But if I'm stable on, or if I'm braced with my right leg, then it just ends up being a more solid. I can't make the 14, so there's a problem with that. We just won't shoot that one anymore. Just have to keep that in mind for future games. Don't shoot the 14, Dave. Anyway, I always feel like I'm rambling, and this is perfectly fine when I'm making videos for myself. But when I'm making a video for YouTube, I'm like, oh man, public consumption, it's got to be somewhat worthwhile. I found out today one of my friends and local pool guru and expert watches my channel. There's a little bit of extra pressure right there. Although he watches it to help himself go to sleep at night, he said. That's not important right now. I still want to put out stuff that doesn't make me look like a complete dumbass. And so there we go. This is my latest, not my latest, this is one of my latest things about shooting hard and why I've had a problem with shooting hard. I have a problem shooting into that corner here right now, don't I? Hey, I made a ball. And yeah, that's one of the reasons I have a problem shooting hard. I used to have a reason because I wasn't getting lined up on the shot line. Okay, I've taken care of that. I thought I had a reason where I was maybe wrapping around my body on my backswing. That was never an issue. But this other ghost thing, I think, is still a potential issue for me. So if I have a shot like this 7 down the rail, and I have to shoot it hard, and I know I have to shoot it hard, to try to draw back here for shape on something. If I'm playing one pocket, I can't aim it on vertical axis. I have to aim it a little bit to the left of where I would normally aim it, because the ghost is going to shove me and twist me a little bit. Even with my right leg braced, he's still going to twist me a little bit. This is my theory. I don't know if this is what actually happens, but it kind of seems that way, and it kind of explains what's going on. And if I do the adjustment correctly, then I don't have to worry about it. So it may just be something that looks similar. But I can take this shot. Instead of shooting straight 6 o'clock, I'm going to shoot like 6:30. And put the shot in. You have to put shot in, or A, you look like an idiot. B, you don't learn anything, except that's apparently a tough shot. When shot hard, that's a tough shot. I've mentioned before, I have no draw stroke. I have none. It's pretty bad. Anyway, so yeah, if I'm going to shoot hard, I have to shoot a little bit to the left. I have to put my tip just a little bit to the left of where it would otherwise be. On a medium length shot or a soft shot, I can go right at 6 o'clock or whatever. But if I'm going to shoot it hard, I have to make that adjustment. From right now, I have to make that adjustment because that twist is going to happen. If I ramble long enough, I try to do 10-minute videos. I seem to remember reading something about YouTube once they wanted a 10-minute video, or it didn't count for whatever the hell it's not supposed to count for. I don't really remember. So I call this effect the other ghost. There may be other things. I've actually never heard it talked about before. You know, the people that will talk about squirt and deflection and, you know, spin-induced throw and contact-induced throw and all these various terms and stuff like that. And I've never really heard anybody talk about this twisting action that I think is at least entirely possible to be happening on a hard shot. If you're going to be just, I don't know how braced you'd have to be, or have a really strong core or whatever, and absolutely prevent yourself from being twisted. And I'm not talking about this. This is an exaggeration. Just a teeny tiny bit. But with pull, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much at all. At that distance, you know, a half a millimeter of twisting might have been enough to make me miss a shot. And I think we can agree that that would have sucked. Missing shots always sucks. One of the universal rules, I bet, right? Anyway. Not quite enough. That's my theory on that. Yet one of my other little things where I overthink topics and then overthink them some more and then usually some more, and eventually when I think I might be close to having it figured out, I'll fire up the camera. This is what I do, this is what I've been doing for years, and the only difference is that now YouTube gets to learn from some of this shit, and maybe learn is a bad word, or maybe YouTube is just learning, don't pay attention to that theory because it's stupid. That's fine with me. I do what I can, you know. I help my friend get sleep at night by making boring videos. Maybe some of the rest of you, I can help you to know to ignore my stupid shit. And maybe every now and then I might say something that somebody goes, oh, that might be a good idea. Let me think about that. I don't know. I'm 100% rambling, so I'm 100% going to stop this right now.